put these two together. Let's talk about analysis services and data mining working together here. Now, what is really kind of interesting is that data mining is it's a first-class citizen of analysis services. It's not just a little bitty feature that hardly anybody uses. It's not just a little part of it. It is a main critical piece of the analysis services engine. This little graphic that you're seeing here, this is actually straight out of MSDN, and it's meant to show you there's really two sides to working with analysis services. There's the multidimensional data, and then there's the data mining. Now, I don't know what the numbers are, but if I had to guess, it's probably something like this. Of the people that are right now using analysis services, 100% of them are using the multidimensional data side. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 99%. But here's the thing that we're going to talk about a little bit later. You don't use one or the other. You can use both. So we might say that 100% of the people use analysis services, multidimensional data part, and then 5%, 10% are also using the data mining portion. Now, they can be used separately. You don't have to use the multidimensional data and the data mining together. You can just use one or another. But mostly, go ahead and just kind of tell you real world stuff, how people are really using this today. Most of the time, people have a multidimensional data in place, and then they also add in the data mining side of this. So that's why I said SSAS, analysis services, is really a twofer. You get two for the price of one, right? You never heard that? So you get the multidimensional side, and then you also get this whole data mining platform. Okay. Now, while most of us do work with the multidimensional part, the data mining part, it's a fully developed part of analysis services. Like I said, not just a bolt-on. Okay. It uses what we call the data mining designer for development. It's a fully developed piece. So you've got your viewer, you've got your browser, you get to develop everything. I'm kind of staying away from giving you specific terms yet because we have a couple of videos coming up about those. And it also has a separate language that we will work with. We won't be writing MDX and we won't be writing SQL for working with data mining. We'll be writing DMX, data mining extensions for SQL. I told you when I kind of led with this chapter, this is something we could have spent a 4-day class on, right? All right, now data mining is not just for use with multidimensional data. You can use it with multidimensional data, and a lot of people will, but that's not the only place we can use it. You can actually give it many different data sources. It can be your cubes. It can be your relational data warehouse that's stored in the SQL server. It can be spreadsheets, flat files. Okay, so really lots of different data sources can be used when you're working with this data mining. Now, what we give to our analysts, how we get them in front of the data mining end product, which again I'm kind of holding back from giving you the terms yet. I don't want to intimidate you too much with terms without a full-blown introduction to them. Basically, we're going to give them a set of client tools that enable them to flip through the mining. Okay, I don't want to say the mining models and such. I don't want you to get nervous, but let's just say that we're going to give them client tools that enable them to browse the result of data mining in many different ways. Visually, textually, we're going to give them the ability to run scenarios through the mining models. So they're going to be able to work with reports, and we have the client tools already built into SQL Server. So reporting services comes with your basic charts and graphs and tables that can be used to work with the data mining. Okay. There are also third-party tools, lots of them, lots of those out there. Just to kind of give you an example of how different what I'm talking about is, here's just 4 screenshots from working with a little bit of some of the data mining tools. We can see here we have relationship charts. Right here, I wish I'd made this one a little bit larger. We're running here a prediction. We're saying, okay, here's the data that has occurred. Here's what we think is going to happen. You can see that predictive quality here. And here we're kind of deciding which customers will buy certain things. We're trying to predict what's happening. Okay? So these are very different. This is not just, hey, it's just like a cube, or it's just like relational data and my reports and graphs go against this. It's a full-blown discipline. This is a serious, major enterprise if you want to undertake implementing data mining into your system. It's not just bolt on. Like, you're not going to just wake up over coffee one day and say, let's see, it's 9 o'clock. I got until noon. I think I'll do some data mining between now and then. I think for the whole company, I'll design a data mining solution. There's a little more involved with that. So I thought I'd put together a couple of things here to give you an idea of what you can do with data mining. Most of these are just straight from your Microsoft marketing materials that kind of tell you, well, what is data mining? All right, market basket analysis. And by the way, why did I use the Microsoft marketing materials? Because that's probably where you're going to go to find more about data mining. You'll probably look in books online. You will see a lot of these terms in the samples. You'll see a lot of these terms when you start flipping through other books and seeing other training materials. So I usually don't like to quote other training materials or specifically things from Microsoft marketing. But in this case, you're going to see these terms, and I think it's useful to be familiar with them. This idea of a market basket analysis, if you haven't heard of that, it's that same concept that we talked about in the last video when we said, here's the Amazon customers who bought this item also bought this. You provide them with a shopping cart, right? And we can then predict what sort of things a user would buy. We could look at all the demographics. Okay, we know Scott is a male. He's 39 years old with 2 kids, is a homeowner. He drives a car. And so now he's looking at shotgun shells. I don't know. I have no idea. And so now what can we predict that somebody with those same attributes that has looked at shotgun shells on this website before would also buy? Okay, not going to be the exact same thing as people who have bought this item. We want to make sure that we give him things that have other people like Scott have bought. Because with Amazon, we might have 16,000 different products that people who have bought shotgun shells also bought. We might even have 1 million if it's a very popular product. So we have to find a way to whittle that down, and that's where data mining comes into play. Okay? Website analysis, I'll give you an example of this that I've done here. Let me kind of go back. Take a look at this relationship chart here. We've got these listed as clusters, which is just a real simple clustering algorithm we're looking at, but what you will often see is this will become a web page like default.aspx, and then here is faq.aspx, and what we're seeing here is the relationships between the pages, and we can start filtering on this, saying show me when somebody entered at signup.aspx, what was the path? What are the path for people with this sort of demographic take? And we would give them drop downs and give them the ability to say, now show me the path that people that are homeowners would take. Now show me the path that people who are homeowners, who are male, who live in the state of Texas would take. Things like that. Right? Looking at some of the others over here, churn analysis. Maybe we are a monthly sign-up service where you pay $9.95 to do training videos. Let's just say that that's how ours work there, which it isn't. But and we want to predict. Okay, we have 10 subscribers today. What's the likelihood that all 10 of those subscribers will still be with us over the next 12 months or 6 months or 3 months? We'll analyze those demographics, right? Sales forecasting, I kind of showed you that trend line over here. Marketing campaign analysis, that's a pretty simple one to understand. Anybody that does marketing, you're always interested in what's going to be the ROI, right? The return on investment. We're looking for predictive qualities. We're looking for adding data to the data set so that we can become more accurate with our next marketing campaign. So these are just some of them. And again, I don't usually like to quote the Microsoft marketing materials, but you will see these terms. So I think it's good to be aware of those there. Okay? And so then the question is, oh man, this really does sound cool. Like I could do all this cool stuff and my users are going to totally dig it. How much work is it? And it's a lot. I mean, really, like I said, it's not something that you're going to implement in 3 hours. We'll talk a little bit more on the technical aspect in the next video. What does it take? What are the project planning steps? Things like that as well. Okay, so we'll kind of come back to this one. All right, so analysis services and data mining work together. It was built to do data mining. It's like I said, it's a first-class citizen, right? It's not just a bolt-on or a feature. So what else do you need in place to do data mining? So other than analysis services, really not much else. I mean, it's built into analysis services. I would assume that you are using your SQL Server relational data warehouse to test and run your data mining against. But analysis services is the data mining server. So you don't have to add other software on it to do data mining. And I would say when you install your Visual Studio, that's the tool that you would use to develop. That's going to have your data mining prediction tasks and everything in integration services. You're going to be working with reporting services and Excel as clients. Again, you could download and buy third-party tools, but Excel, great tools built right into it. You can even get some of the add-ins for 2007 for data mining as well. So really not a whole lot. Okay? So I tell you what, let's come back and let's actually talk about those technical bits. What is it that I have to do for analysis services to enable data mining? How do I install it? What considerations do I have to go through?